Hi, this is Dr. Earl. Today we're going to talk about LINQ. What is it? What's butyric acid? And what do they do in the body? So before we get started, I want to lay some groundwork and talk about the fact that our bodies are amazing. They really are. And we really need only a few basic things in order for us to really function and keep moving forward. From an energy standpoint, you're looking at carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. Those are our basic energy sources. And all cells can run off some version of those energy sources. We need vitamins, minerals, and things called micronutrients in order to help the body and help the cells use those energy sources and then fuel us as we move along. Across the body, there are some tissues that have a preference for some energy sources versus others. So certain tissues like the glucose or the carbohydrates. Others prefer some of the proteins, and almost everything runs off some version of fat or ketones. The other thing to understand is when we find supplements or nutrients that really affect the body at this foundational level, at the root level, they can affect the entire body. Again, these are basic components that all of the cells in our body need. And certain portions of our body, certain cells within our body, have a preference to one food source and or one vitamin, mineral, nutrient, or supplement over another. So the impact can be very substantial. It can affect everything from your gut, your immune system, your nerve tissue, and really give your body the energy that it needs so that those tissues can communicate, they can connect, and they can function as they should. Well, before we go too much further, we need to talk about different types of fats. There are large fatty acids, there are medium chain fatty acids, and there are small chain fatty acids. This simply has to do with the number of carbon molecules that are within that fatty acid. So obviously, large have a many, medium have a few, and small or short chain fatty acids have even fewer still. Well, our bodies, and in particular our digestive system, our nervous system, our blood vessels, and our nervous tissue really has an affinity, really hungry for these small chain fatty acids. So where would you find small chain fatty acids? Well, we find a lot of that in our food. Dairy, milk, certain meats, and that one of those fatty acids that's very important to our body is something called butyric acid. Again, butyric acid has some nutritional sources, but the other fascinating thing is our bodies have cultivated within our digestive system, within our microbiome, the bacteria that actually create butyric acid. And it's the hope that those bacteria, that microbiome, will create enough of it that our bodies need to keep it happy. Well, between antibiotics, radiation exposure, other wavelength exposure, and the biggest culprit is our diet, we really have lost the ability, and we've lost many of those key bacteria in numbers sufficient to create enough butyric acid to keep our body happy. So one of the questions people talk about, well, if my body needs it, where am I going to get it from? And how can I kickstart my body's ability to make it on its own? And that's where we introduce LINQ. LINQ is a combination of a very powerful short chain fatty acid called butyric acid. And LINQ also contains food sources for those bacteria and stimulates the growth and function of those bacteria that will make butyric acid inside of your body. It's a powerful combination. Now, we've talked a lot about butyric acid and its role as a food source. One of the other things that's amazing about butyric acid is when it reaches sufficient levels, it also acts as what's called a signaling molecule. A signaling molecule, they're one of these amazing molecules that connect your body. They make it so that nerve tissue, immune tissue, we talked about blood vessels, and your digestive system really work in unison. Again, a foundational or a root source nutrient that your body needs. It's that signaling that really makes the connection very powerful. And then, given the energy that it provides to the cells, they can then do their job, and that increases the connection and the function and the effectiveness of those tissues even more. So, what is LINQ? LINQ is a combination of butyric acid, a food source for your bacteria that's in your microbiome, and it is a way to empower your body to better health, better connectivity, and really optimize where you want to go.